After years of war and wandering, the land of Canaan finally knew peace. The battles were won, the giants were gone, and the soil was ready for a new beginning. The entire community of Israelites, a nation forged in the desert, gathered as one people at a place called Shiloh. There, under the warm morning sun, they set up the sacred tent of meeting, the very dwelling place of God's presence among them. This was their homecoming. The land was theirs, a promise fulfilled. Yet, a sense of incompleteness lingered. 7 of the 12 tribes still hadn't received their designated portion, their inheritance. They were home, but their individual homes were not yet defined. Standing before the assembled tribes, their colorful banners fluttering in the breeze, was their leader, Joshua, now an old man. His voice still carried the authority of a warrior chosen by God. He looked out at the faces of the people, at the 7 tribes still waiting, and his words echoed across the assembly. "How long will you wait?" He cried out. "How long will you hesitate to go and take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given you?" Hughes' question wasn't just a practical one. It was a spiritual challenge. It was a call to action, a reminder that faith requires participation. God had given the land, but they had to step out and claim it. So, Joshua devised a plan. He commanded the 7 tribes to select 3 men from each tribe, 21 men in total. These men were not soldiers, but surveyors, cartographers, and scribes. Their mission was to go out and explore the remaining territories. They were to walk the length and breadth of the land, to map its features, and to divide it into 7 portions. They were, in essence, to write the blueprint for their future, to chart the destiny promised to them since the days of their forefather, Abraham. With scrolls, ink, and measuring cords, these chosen men prepared to undertake a journey that would define the boundaries of their people for generations to come. And so they set out. These 21 men ventured into the untamed heart of the Promised Land. They journeyed through rugged mountains that touched the clouds and descended into lush green valleys carved by ancient rivers. They crossed sun-scorched wilderness and navigated dense forests. With meticulous care, they documented everything. Every town, every village, every spring, every stream, and every significant hill was recorded on their scrolls. They walked past the crumbled ruins of Jericho, testament to God's power, and looked up at the high places of Bethel, where Jacob had once dreamed of a ladder to heaven. They weren't just drawing lines on a map. They were chronicling the geography of God's faithfulness. This was a sacred task, charting the destiny of a nation on parchment. After completing their exhaustive survey, the men returned to Shiloh, their scrolls filled with detailed descriptions of the land. The entire community gathered once again before the tent of meeting, which glowed softly in the twilight, its entrance illuminated by the flickering torches of the priests. Inside, the faint, holy light of the Ark of the Covenant could be seen. This was the moment of decision. With the detailed maps before him, Joshua stood before the Lord to distribute the final inheritances. This wasn't a human decision, based on power or preference. It was to be left to divine will. He cast lots, a sacred method of discerning God's choice. One by one, the future of each tribe was revealed. Judah had already received its portion in the south, and the descendants of Joseph their lands to the north. Now, it was time for the remaining 7, starting with the tribe of Benjamin. The lot was cast, and it fell to Benjamin. Their territory was strategically and prophetically placed. Nestled right between the powerful tribe of Judah to the south and the lands of Joseph's sons to the north, it says, the boundaries were read aloud. A picture of their inheritance took shape. Their land would stretch from the Jordan River in the east, encompassing the historic city of Jericho. It would climb westward into the hill country, through the significant site of Bethel, and extend towards Kirioth Jearim. Its southern border would run along the Valley of Hinnom, right on the edge of the city that would one day become the most famous on earth. Jerusalem. It was a compact but vital piece of land, a corridor connecting the northern and southern tribes. The scroll was unrolled further, and the cities within Benjamin's territory were named, each name a promise of a future home. Jericho, the city of palms. Bethel, the house of God. Ai, Avim, Pera, Aph, Cheveramoni, Opni, and Geba. Then came the second group of towns, Gibeon, Ramah, Mizpah, a place of gathering and prayer, Kephira, Moza, Rechem, Urpel, and Tarala. And finally, Zelah Heliph, and the Jebusite city, which is Jerusalem, along with Gibbeth and a total of 14 towns, with their surrounding villages. Each name represented a future filled with life, with markets and homes, with families and fields. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Benjamin, a small but fierce tribe, destined to produce Israel as first king and to stand at the very heart of the nation's history. A bridge between kings and prophets, through. From the wilderness of Sinai to the settled inheritance in Canaan, the story of Joshua at Shiloh is a powerful testament. The division of the land wasn't just a real estate transaction. It was the final, tangible act of a promise made centuries before. It teaches us that God's plans are meticulous. His timing is perfect, and His promises, no matter how long they take, never fade. They unfold, piece by piece, tribe by tribe, generation by generation. The journey may be long, and it may require our active participation, but the inheritance is always certain. The Lord gives the land, but we must have the faith to go in and possess it. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the Scriptures.